Nation. This is episode number 10, and I cannot believe we've done 10 episodes. Huge thanks to our guests and huge thanks to our listeners. You guys are incredible. So yeah, last week we had Liam Watkins on, who's one of the events managers at Sin City in Swansea. He's a very old friend of mine and an absolute legend, and make sure you go and listen to that. This week we've an upcoming YouTube content creator and photographer, Sam Bassett of Optical Wonder. He has created a large community through his love of photography and is continuing to grow on the daily. When we recorded this episode, he was at 6.3 thousand subscribers. Now I'm editing it 3 weeks later. He's on 8,500 subscribers. So good effort, Sam. We hope you enjoy this episode. Sit back and enjoy.
To progression over destination. Sam?
Hello.
This is episode number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Did not think we'd get this far. This is amazing.
Could you please state your occupation and then your favourite base snack? You're the last base snacker.
Sure. So I class myself as a photographer, content creator, and my base snack would be waffles, as in like potato waffles.
Amazing.
4 minutes in the toaster and you're good.
You put toasters in a waffle? You put waffles in the toaster?
Yeah.
They're only half a rum in.
See, that's a life hack in itself.
It's a life hack. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
I do that with the kids.
Nah.
It's amazing.
Quickest meal in the world.
Takes me 20 minutes in an oven. I've never thought to put my toaster.
You're not doing it right.
No, you're not. It even says on the box to put it in the toaster.
Does it actually?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You of all people, I thought you would have had that one.
I'm not the laziest person you'll ever meet. I didn't know that.
So,
bloody hell.
How did you set yourself up, Sam?
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I did, obviously, but it kind of just happened. I didn't own my own camera until I was in Australia in 2015. I was going traveling around Australia, and I kind of I needed something to photograph what I was doing. So I kind of decided that, I'll buy a camera. I bought a Nikon D7000, which, it's okay. It's not a bad camera.
Amazing.
Bought it cheap off eBay. Half expected it I didn't expect it to even turn up. Turned up 3 days before I went traveling. And yeah, I mean, I learned from there then. Just buying bits and bobs as I went over the last 5 years.
Loads of different lenses and stuff. What's your favourite lens?
24 to 70. Just purely because it gives me a wider range.
I appreciate that answer, Sam, but can I also ask Pricey what your favourite lens is?
My favourite lens? Standard fisheye.
Nice.
I was going to say, I didn't expect you to come out with a what's your favourite lens question there, Pricey. You took me by surprise there.
Well, have that, stick that in your pipe and smoke that lens.
So obviously not, that was a very vague, when did you go to Australia? 2000 what?
2015. So,
right,
so January 2015, I went to Australia. Do you want the full story? Do you want just to...
Well, so I've known you for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be now, because you had an operation 2.5 years ago.
A year and a half.
A year and a half, is it?
Yeah, October 2018.
So it'll be only 2 years that I've known you.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So up until the point of where I met you, what happened in that period in order to get you to where you are today?
Okay, so in the last 2 years, say.
Yeah.
I guess so. When I came back from traveling, I came back because I had to have the operation. Then I met you. When I met you, I didn't have the camera I have now. I had the Nikon. When I came back, I had this idea to start interviewing other creatives to find out what inspired them. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's basically what we kind of do here as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we do here.
Yeah, and I just wanted to find out, I know I did a video with We the D with Dean.
Yeah.
I never actually published it. I did it, but then I never actually I still have it. Never actually published it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's something that I want to do still now, and I'm like slowly setting it up, and I'll talk about that probably later. But I found that I wanted better from the camera, from the Nikon. So I wanted to work towards getting the Sony when I met you.
Yeah.
I was reaching out to brands, and I don't know whether or not it was the whole, because I was being negative about the camera, I wasn't getting any work. Because I was in that mindset of like,
yeah, well, this camera can't fucking do it anyway, so what's the point of me putting myself out for jobs?
Yeah, so like I was going into to stuff like asking people half-assed in a way.
Yeah.
So I'd reach out to companies being like, hey, I'm a content creator, hire me, as vague as I could be, because I didn't have that confidence in my own equipment, which was bad on my part, now I see
and I guess calling yourself a content creator is such a new job description in this day and age we're in now.
Yeah.
Having the confidence.
It's so vague as well. Like content is literally anything.
Yeah.
So like it's such a blanket term that I don't even personally like using it. It's just it's the term that people recognize now.
Yeah. Because
I do video and I do photos and I do graphic design and digital art. So you have to say content creating. But I guess to go back to what you're saying, it's like, since I met you, I decided I need to make money. So I started doing different jobs back in Pembrokeshire when I came back, when I could after my operation. I worked in a children's care home, which was amazing. Absolutely loved it.
That was what it is. I couldn't remember what it was that you did.
Yeah, man. I really, really enjoyed that. Because it was really rewarding. It was really good. But it also allowed me to do a lot of hours and save up and get the camera. And then I went to Malta in April 2019.
Yeah.
And that kind of like reinvigorated my travel after having the operation. It kind of like got it back in my head to what I wanted to do.
Yeah, because you were bedbound for a while after that operation. So
12 weeks.
So I bet you were itching to get out there.
Yeah, I was, yeah. So I wanted to get back into it. I went to Malta. I came back from Malta to London in April, and I was just staying in like an Airbnb thing. And I was like, I want this camera. And it was going to leave me, like, it was going to leave me with £50. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go for it. So I bought it, and it kind of just, I don't know, it invigorated my mind to like be more confident in what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, now
you feel like being on your last 50 quid maybe pushed you into work more and make that money.
Yeah, I've always lived like that though. So even like in Australia, even before that, I've never been someone to like hoard money. I've never had like a lot of money. If I have it, I'll spend it on things I need. So like I'll reinvest in myself.
Yeah.
So not necessarily wasting it on, clothes or
guns,
drink or guns,
or rap music.
Yeah, or anything, But I try and reinvest it in something that's going to benefit me to grow. And I feel like going to Malta and getting that mentality back of traveling and being on my own reinvigorated that. I got the camera, and then I started reaching out to companies again. And then Roxanne, who's my girlfriend now, she reached out to me through Instagram.
I remember,
And we just started talking, and then we did this collaboration where, I went and did a portfolio for her. I got a portfolio for myself to like use, and it kind of went from there, and now I'm stuck with it.
I look at your eyes. She can hear you.
Well, yeah, it's a studio apartment. I've got nowhere to
go. Nice.
That's fair, man.
But so, I mean, that's go on.
Have you collaborated with anyone else as well? Like you spoke about Dean earlier on. Is there anyone else you want to collaborate with, or?
Pretty much anyone. I've collaborated with a bunch of people. So I'm very vague. I'm always vague with how I speak. I never get into like detail. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. It's me. I don't like to big myself up in any way, but like I do a lot of different collaborations with different people.
Yeah.
Recently I've worked with Oliver Webb. He's an ex Formula 3 driver. If he hears this, you can Formula 3 or Formula 2. Anyway, he tests a load of cars for loads of people, and he's an amazing guy, amazing racer. And then also did a collaboration with his girlfriend, Nyla, she's like this influencer, cool person online, cool person in life as well, not just online. Stinging.
Yeah.
I've worked with other brands as well. It's weird. I never, when I'm doing things for companies, even if it's free, I don't really realize what I'm doing, and I never actually take the time to think about it. And I don't know.
I don't think for you, I don't think you feel like it's about that. I feel like you just love so much at what you do. You don't give a fuck who it's for. Like, obviously you do give a fuck who it's for, but you care so much about... I'm there
to create, not to...
Yeah. Like, yes, you're being paid to work, or in some instances you're not being paid to work. But I think at the end of the day, ultimately you love photography and videography. That takes over.
Yeah, it does, like 100%. The first time I went to Silverstone, it was
such an amazing place, right?
Mate, it was
for
the first time I went, it was amazing. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. It was a 6-hour round trip for me to get there from London.
Yeah.
Because the trains are shit. The buses are shit to get there.
Yeah.
Driving, it's only an hour and a half.
Shit.
So it was a joke, but
yeah,
I did it for free. I paid to get there. I did the whole thing for free just because I wanted to go and do that and get that under my belt. And I don't mind working for free, and like I always get it in the back, like for my family and stuff. Like, stop doing things for free. Like, don't undervalue yourself. Charge people.
It's not about that though, because I do it as well.
Like, I'm happy to do it because I know I'm going to get stuff back. You know, I've done stuff. I've never been paid by Ollie, and I don't want to actually get paid by Ollie because I see him as a friend now, especially. And we have this kind of understanding. He likes my work. I like what he does. So why not work together and make it?
It's the opportunity to do something that you wouldn't get to do if you just like, I don't know, if you just sat there like doing nothing. You may as well be doing something that you really love.
Exactly. And although he hasn't physically paid me himself, it's led on to things that have paid me because I know him.
Yeah.
So although I haven't had money out of his pocket, I've still been paid because I technically know him and I went and did something for him. So it's, you know, I've got companies that, well, I was in the process of setting stuff up. But obviously coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
There's a guy that does, you know, he loves track days. He's got the money. He doesn't care. And he was paying me X amount of money to come up to every time he went to Silverstone, which was 6 times. And it was just me going up. He was paying me for it. To them, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But it came from Ollie. So it's like, I think a lot of people do.
That group you put yourself in with. And
it's who you know. And then.
Yeah, massively.
And then the guy that I did I don't want to like name people on price or whatever, but the guy that I did that with, his best friend who he owns a company with, is his girlfriend, like runs all of the British, I've got to get this right now, the British Racing Car Drivers Association thing, which is huge. Like, it, you know, it's like basically like Lewis Hamilton, these types of people.
Yeah.
And she loved my work. So then she's like, well, we'll get you back to do some more work after this. And then that led to, I don't know, Jack, if you've ever heard of High Tech. So High Tech is a racing brand. They have cars in Formula 2 and Formula 3.
I'm gonna say something here. I didn't know there were other formulas.
Okay.
It's just Formula 1.
No, there's Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula 4, and then Formula E.
As soon as you said Formula 3 earlier, I was like, does he mean Formula 1?
No, there's other ones.
I didn't know that. Thank you for enlightening me.
Now you know.
I do, yeah.
But yeah, this company, I told them what I'd done. I'd shown them the stuff I'd worked for, told them, you know, gave them references and names and stuff. And I was supposed to go to the F1 in Silverstone this year to shoot and do content creating and stuff this year. Yeah. But obviously that's been postponed. Probably won't happen this year. But it's it's funny from knowing one person, which is Ollie,
Yeah.
doing a free shoot. It's brought me all of these different like stepping stones to grow and to go and do.
And it's that information that you take back to your family and say, look, this is why I do it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what I do. Like you look at Aaron Draplin, he designed the Cobra Dogs, the hot dog franchise company, right? He did the logo for free, did the whole branding for free, didn't want any penny of it because they were good friends of his. And he had faith in that person to do well. And now they own X amount of hot dog vans, you know? I always come back to that story. If anyone's ever struggling, like I did a logo recently for a podcast out in, where were they? Texas, I think it was. So
nice.
they were in a forum, and I saw that their logo was hand drawn, and it wasn't the best thing to look at if you're trying to do well as a podcast. So I basically just emailed them or sent them a voice message on Anchor and saying, like, hey guys, Jack here from Progression Over Destination. I hope you don't find this too offensive, and I really hope you take this the right way, but I've redesigned your logo. Do you want me to send it over to you? And that's the first time I've ever done that. But I had faith. I had so much, like, I don't know what it was. I was drawn to these people as a podcast. And now
it's probably because you can kind of see yourself in their shoes, and you would like to think that people would help you out if you needed that, or to say like, hey, look, your content's a bit shit, let me help you out.
Yeah.
And I think like that's what I'm trying to get across in my channel as well, like in YouTube.
Yeah.
Is that I want all of these young creatives who think that it's like, okay, I'm going to go and take photos and earn loads of money because that's what they see on Instagram. It's not. Like most of the people they probably aspire to be have done the jobs that they want to do, but for free. Yeah. And a lot of people don't get that. It's not, you're doing it because not for the money, you're doing it because you want to be doing it, not because, and it is shit. It'd be great to get paid £300-400. I remember talking to a photographer, I won't say his name, but he's from Pembrokeshire, and it's not Dean. I was talking to a guy, he lives in London, and he said, I don't leave the house unless it's over £900. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, so £900, like, so what if like someone offers you £400? I was like, I won't take it. I'm like, but why? I understand the concept behind don't undervalue yourself, but if someone comes to you and says, here's £400, like £400 is not a small amount of money, regardless of how big you are. It's not. So to turn that down is, I feel as creatives, if you're really doing it as a creative, is, it's wrong in my eyes, because you're a creative. Pricey, you're a creative, especially with tattoos and stuff. So for me, you wouldn't undervalue yourself by, selling yourself out, but wouldn't turn work away.
I know who you're talking about as well. So.
I also think about the amount of time you put in before that, though. I kind of agree with what you're saying, that if he's got a set rate that he won't leave the house for, then that's up to him. And it's kind of like if he thinks that he's in that and got to that point, I kind of agree with him. Like you can kind of be like, you spent how many years in uni to do it? You spent how many nights of not seeing your missus to get good at what you're doing, or
I agree with it in that sense, but it's for me, I think I just see it from a different point of view. Like I won't say no to anything.
Yeah, I see it as
that's a great way to do it, though. The way you're doing it.
Never say no, but I agree with this person's method. But for me, if I valued myself at the amount of hours I'd spent doing what I do, illustration-wise, I wouldn't get any work.
I know, exactly. So I tried doing what he said. So like people reached out, people were like, hey, would you do the shoot for me? And I'm like, okay, I'll take his pricing. And I asked him, how much would you charge? So he gave me exactly what he would charge.
Yeah.
And I gave it to the company and they're like, nah. And I was like, okay, so what's your budget? And they were like, they just didn't reply. So then I'm like,
well, you've just lost the job there.
I now have no work at all. Yeah. And then the next person that messaged me, I was like, okay, right, taking on to what just happened, I'll say, what's your budget? This is my normal day
Yeah.
rate, but I'm open to discussions.
Yeah, I always start like that. What's your budget? This is
No
what
reply.
I normally charge. Really?
No reply. Yeah, and it's such a delicate thing in London. It's like you either
you're a dime a dozen up there. There's so many photographers.
there is a lot, but if you charge too little, they don't think you're worth it. If you charge too much, they think you're taking the piss.
Yeah, it's the happy
and
balance.
there's a balance, but you can't know what their balance is.
It's the elusive
mind games.
mind game seesaw.
Yeah.
So
It is.
So what about like I've seen you grow on YouTube and Instagram now over the last year, and the way you come across on social media can sometimes look like you fucking really want it. Can sometimes look a bit negative,
Mhm.
but look where it's got you. Like, a year ago, I didn't think you'd be here as quick as you have been. I thought you'd have to put another couple of years in, but man, you've really shown.
I
perseverance.
I didn't think it either.
6,300 subscribers. That's amazing.
Well, you're 10,000. You just hit 10,000 on Instagram now.
Yeah.
And again, with YouTube, 6.3 subscribers is a drop in the pond. But I remember talking to you, man. You never would have thought people would subscribe to you.
No, I know, and it was. I think the thing is, I've over the last 2 months since quarantine started.
Yeah.
I kind of understood. Okay, right. So I'll be honest with you. So on what date was it? The 23rd, 24th of April? No, March.
23rd of March it kicked in, yeah.
I decided that I was going to come back to Pembrokeshire.
No way.
Because we couldn't. So we decided we were going to come back because of the whole coronavirus thing. My landlord wasn't going to drop our rent. He wasn't going to help us out.
Wow.
We were like, fuck, what we're going to do. Furlough pay was like £500 for me. So I was like, shit, what am I going to do? So we packed, I'm not joking, we packed up the entire flat.
Wow.
Everything was packed. My brother was like literally the next morning coming up.
Yeah.
And I had a gut feeling, both myself and Roxanne both had a gut feeling. We both felt incredibly sick. And we were like, we can't do this. We can't go. We have to stay. So we stayed. And we were like, okay, what happens now? And the videos, I'll tell you what, you can't see them because I've made them unlisted, but I'll read them out to you. Because to you guys, it probably seems mundane and stupid, but bear with me. I'll read them out. And to me, it was like the titles of the videos. Give me a second. Sorry. The first video that kind of went decent, it had 50,000 views. But the one before that, which is private, and all of the other ones before that are private, had 23 views, the one before that. And the name of that was It's Time for Change. And what I was doing on that video was I was starting a new channel. I decided, fuck it, I'm done with this channel. I'm going to do a separate channel.
You literally came to a fork in the road.
Yeah.
You were like, fuck.
And it was literally like I was done. And then the next day, the video just went up. It was crazy.
How did that make you feel then? Because obviously when all this shit hit, content consumption went up dramatically.
Yeah, it did. Before that, my average viewings were 50. So my average viewings were 50 views per video. And I've been doing a video every single day since January 1st.
I know.
So there's 132 videos.
How'd you put out so much content?
This is one of my questions was
how?
Just
how?
Over the last 2 months, it's been fairly it's been more, okay, there's 2 stages of it. Before quarantine hit and we're all working and everything and all of that shit, I was doing 60, 70 hours a week and doing a video a day. However, the video content it was good. It was okay. It was watchable.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fuck man, this is good. This guy, I want to subscribe. It wasn't on par with the rest of YouTube.
Yeah.
It was just me making a video every day.
I definitely think you've hit that now. I definitely think with 100% of your focus going into these videos, you can definitely see the production value gone into it.
Yeah, sure.
Your intro, everything is on point now.
And I feel what was happening before was there's like, it's a double-edged sword. So like before I had that leeway because I didn't have people expecting a video, whereas now I do.
Yeah.
I kind of like, well, you know what, I'm fucking tired today, so I'm just going to do a shitty like, so update video, I went to work, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
So like a 3-minute video of me sitting in front of the camera, that's it.
Yeah. But to you, that was an accomplishment because you'd done that video that day.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I said to you. Like, I don't care about the content. It's a challenge to myself to upload a video every single day for the next year.
Yeah.
And whether or not quarantine hit or not, for me, obviously it's a blessing. For most, it's not. It's helped me a lot with growth. And I don't know why that video went so well. I mean, it's not. I mean, 50,000 views. Like, I'm not bullshitting anyone. That's shit on comparison. In the YouTube
as I
thing.
said, like,
but for me,
and stuff,
man, like, don't be so fucking hard on yourself. Like,
oh no, yeah. But for me, it's like really good.
Like 50,000 views is amazing. Like, I got chuffed when I had like, I think I had the most people seeing one of my posts was like 18,000 when I broke it down. Like, you know, that's the most I've had in the last like 6 years of tattooing.
I don't get any of that.
So
I think the thing that's kind of like stunned me the most, and I've said this to my, you know, all my family, and they're like, oh yeah, but they don't really see it from my point. They're not creative, so they are, but they don't understand this type of stuff, the analytics. But when I do watch time, and I know this is going to sound stupid, but it's like what
are people's average watch time?
It's a cool thing for me. So watch time in minutes in the last 90 days is 8,600, wow, great English, 862,000 minutes of watch time, which is like ridiculous. I don't know how many days that is, but it's...
How many days is that?
5 days. I'll have a look. Who's first? Go on.
598 days.
Wow. It's a year and a half. Nearly.
No, it's more than that.
Yeah, well, a year and
52 weeks. I was like, there's 52 days in a year, Sam.
Wow.
Get those 52 videos out, Sam.
Fuck, I wish.
Yeah, wow. No, that's good, man. I think I saw the point in where you like started to, your videos changed. I think I definitely saw it when this quarantine hit because you had so much more time to put into them.
Yeah, I mean, this is all I'm doing.
Yeah. So you wake up, you record.
I wake up, I have food, and then I record.
Yeah. Where are you getting all your ideas from, man?
It's a good question.
Are you sleeping on stuff at night? Are you getting inspired by like certain things? Because if you're like constantly creating.
I've always had this type of like mentality of when I look at things, I try and say, for example, I'll look at a cup and I'll look at its purpose. I'll look at like, what's the point of the cup? So the point of the cup is to hold something inside it and drink out. So then how can I use that to showcase what it does? How can I show people what it does, but in a different way?
Yeah. And
like, I've always thought in this way, because when I was younger, there was a poet called Spike Milligan. I don't know if you know him. He's a children's poet, and I used to fall asleep listening to his poems. And since then, I don't know what it is, but since then, it's like it changed my perception on how I view like the world. So I always think I see things in a creative way. So I guess that if that answers your question, I don't know. Like today, I had no idea that I was going to. This morning when I woke up, we
had a brief chat earlier before we started recording.
Yeah. So when I woke up this morning, the video that was supposed to go up today was me looking at old photography and then re-editing it because like my old editing was shit.
Yeah, I had a message from you last night, like 2:00 in the morning, of you laughing at old photos that you'd done.
They were so bad.
That one that you said was pretty bad.
Mate, it's fucking awful. Like what? I don't understand what it was.
We need to get this picture up. Where is it? Let's have a look.
I got it.
Can I show you screen?
How can I?
Can I show you screen?
It's at the
I can do. Hang on. I need to get the actual file. because it's funny.
Even like your older videos, though, I'm looking on YouTube now. Like you still got like 2 years ago, 3.2k views. French cheese challenge, like
Yeah. So that one did really well, and that's like I had a lot of stuff that did okay before,
yeah.
I think what's
but
happening now.
it's grown over time. Whereas now I'm getting in 24 hours, I'm getting one every 24 hours. I'm getting 1,000 to 3,000 views.
Yeah, I think what's happening now that you're starting to grow such a community, and I hope your community do listen to this. And if they do, we should do some sort of competition or something that if they listen to this,
For sure.
you know, they get something from it, or, you know, they get a shout on one of your videos or something like that. But I think it's come to the point now where you've grown so much now that your community are now going back through your archives.
Yeah. So
Well, wait now, because one of our questions was, you know, I said about doing a competition, something for your followers. Maybe we can think of something whilst we're on here. Like, and a question here is like, do you exchange like shout outs on your videos? I know you do a review of your optical wonder hashtag.
Yep.
Do you want to talk us through how that works?
Yeah. So that video, I'll refer to that video as that first video that kind of did well. That video, I decided I was going to do a hashtag.
Yeah.
If people saw it, you know, they can use the hashtag, and then I was going to shout people out and do like a review of that hashtag. It now has 6.4 thousand posts on it. Yep. Which is insane. For me.
That's mad. That's incredible.
And I try, like, the idea of that was I wanted to build like a collective, a community of creatives, small creatives, to support each other, which they are doing. And like in the comments of the YouTube video, I want people to like, you know, reach out to the people.
6.5 thousand, I've just checked.
Sorry guys. I want people to like engage with other creatives that are in it. Like the way to grow.
So are you finding people talking to other people because of your hashtag now?
Yeah. So there's one guy in Newport in Wales that commented on the live stream that I did the other day.
Yeah.
And because he was from Newport, people were like, "Oh, I'm also from Newport. What the fuck? Let's meet up." So like they're arranging to meet up after quarantine now to go and shoot together.
Oh,
so it's like it's bringing people together, and it's like that's the point.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what I want. I want people to like understand that, you know, to grow. Like look at all the big creators that have grown. You know, even Peter McKinnon. Okay, he's an amazing entity on himself, but you know he's done collaborations with Casey Neistat. All of these people, like amazing creatives.
Everybody but Ford. Sorry, Pete, if you ever listen to this.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I don't get why people don't want to work with other people. And until I started the hashtag, apart from like a few collaborations I'd done where I'd reached out to people, no one wants to help each other. Like other photographers in London, right? I've reached out to pretty much all of them. Hey man, I want to shoot with you one day. Let's go and shoot. Let's go and do something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They don't want to. Like
why? I don't like. So
because they're doing it.
I follow North Borders, Hayden, and what's his name? There's Hayden, North Borders, and
Seventh Era.
Seventh Era, yeah. So I follow those three dudes, Melbourne, and they all go out shooting together, and it looks like so much fucking fun.
Exactly. I want to do that too. I want people to like meet up. I want us to go and do stuff together, but people don't want to do it. And I'm like, what? That's how you grow. You need to like bounce off each other's audiences.
So I reckon when this quarantine ends, I reckon you get your wanderers together and you fucking just go out for a day in London, maybe just organize 6 of you or something and do a photo challenge like Hayden and all the other boys do. With like slinger and spinning it or something. I think that'd be so cool to watch, man.
Like I've had guys reach out about that type of thing already. So there's a guy that's trying to set stuff up like that in London already, and he's reached out to me and saying like, after this, let's like work something out.
Yeah.
And I want to do that, but I also want people to, you know, I don't want people to like focus just on me and be like, what does Sam say? What does Optical Wonder say? I want them to like take initiative and like understand that, you can do things on your own.
Yeah.
Like go and find your group, go and find your niche. Like, oh, if I go meet up with 100 photographers, I'm not going to get on with all of them. That's just, that's not how it works.
No.
Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own like attitude and their own like emotion. Like I'm like Marmite. You either like me or you don't. So, and I think it's the same with those three boys. They're very three different guys. I can watch North Borders. I can tolerate Hayden.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of Seventh Era, but that's just because you have your own personalities that you kind of like
click with.
You radiate. Yeah. And I think, you're only going to find that out if you do, like you said, like a collective and, meet up and do a meet. People have already asked if I'm going to do a meet up, which is great. I want to do it. It's going to, it's going to happen. It's not gonna, it has to happen.
Yeah.
But as long as everyone's 2 meters apart, it's fine.
Yeah, man.
We're supposed to be meeting up with a photographer tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go yet.
Definitely
the
don't
whole...
do that. You're in England, so...
Yeah, fuck. I'm in London.
Go do your exercise with a photographer.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's because it is.
So, are there any sort of like mottos or mantras that you live by as a creative then, Sam?
Yeah, so when I still live by the first one that I kind of came up with, which was like, get up, get out and go and get inspired. Like I've always told myself in my head that. And it's very long-winded. So like I changed it down to create more, stress less, which is what I want people to do. I want people to go and create more and don't stress about it. Because so many people are like, oh my God, I need to take this picture. Oh my God, I need to be like the best person in the world taking this amazing picture. And it's like, it's not about that. Chill the fuck out.
Well, there's so much social pressure put on everybody.
Yeah, there is. It's massively
horrendous.
And I was under that pressure.
Yeah.
For 4 years? Like since I got a camera, because I felt like I had to be at the same level as everyone else.
Yeah.
And I was trying to take that amazing photo every time.
I think people forget, I think we were saying about it earlier, I think people forget that when they look at these big YouTubers like Casey Neistat and Pete McKinnon and Matty, whatever his last name is, I can never pronounce it.
Yeah, that one.
Matty Happy, whatever his name is. They've all put in the legwork prior to this.
Yeah, exactly.
And people, we live in an age, I think I've said this before on another episode, where it's the instant gratification where people just want everything right now. And
yeah, they do. Yeah, because, for example, right. And it would happen to me too. At the moment, I'm posting, because I have that engaging community, I'm posting on Instagram, and within 24 hours, I'm getting 800 likes.
Yeah.
Whereas if that just dropped off and stopped, of course, normally I'm going to be like, okay, how do I get it back?
Yeah.
And that's just because like it's ingrained into us now, like everybody. Like you want that gratification for what you do because you want people to understand the work you put in.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want people to like me because of my content. I want people to understand what it took to get there. People, my family are amazing. I love them all, but they don't quite understand how much work goes into making a video.
I don't think anybody ever will unless they're
unless they actually do it. Like
unless they're the person on the same level as you. Like I don't know what it takes to be a tattooist. Pricey doesn't know what it takes to become a t-shirt printer, and I don't know what it takes to become a content creator on YouTube. So,
I mean, you could do that. I'm sure you could. You have like the recipe to be.
I have the recipe, but I don't have the headspace for it. I can't do it.
Not right now. No,
I don't have the patience for technology at all.
What do you think I do?
I fucking love talking to Pricey about technology. It's brilliant. It's like watching a caveman with a stick.
Absolutely hate it. So honestly, one day I'll do a video, like a complete raw video of me just sitting here losing my head on my laptop.
Yeah.
Because I've just bought a new laptop, and yesterday for no fucking reason it just wouldn't do anything, and it had that rainbow little fucking twirly thing going around the screen, and I'm like, I need to fucking upload. Come on, it's just like, nope.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the computer I'm sat at the minute is probably 15, 16 years old.
I thought you were on your son's.
Nah, I'm done. I just use this one.
Okay.
If it works, it's fine.
Well, it doesn't. It won't play anything on Netflix anymore because it won't update.
It's too old for Netflix, man. It
It's
doesn't
too
know
old
what
for
that is.
Netflix. Yeah, it's too old for Netflix and chill. Basically,
Tired.
Fucking hell. We've spoken about McKinnon, Nice there, and all the other big YouTubers and all the other not so big YouTubers. How do you feel about, like, for your mental health? I know we've spoken about it in the past with anxiety and stuff like that. How do you find looking at their profiles, and do you check their social medias? Do you compare yourself to those?
I used to. So I used to look at their, like, for example, like Casey's vlogs in the past, right? They were super simple.
Oh yeah.
Super simple, but they were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I can remember watching them and being like, I can do that.
Yeah.
So then I would do it, and then obviously, 2 views. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's not fair. Like, what, and then you go down that rabbit hole. And Peter McKinnon, I didn't get that with because I saw him as a creative. Yeah. Whereas Casey was just some guy. He's creative, but he was just some guy with a camera pissing about in New York and making amazing content at the same time. And I was like, I can do that. Whereas Peter McKinnon, he would do this crazy B-roll thing, and I'd be like, I can't do that. Yeah, that's fine.
And now I look at Daniel Schiffer and look at his B-roll content.
I know,
and it's just out of this world. All handheld.
It is insane.
Yeah.
But that's what a camera will do.
Yeah.
And I get when I first started looking into, pushing my social medias and going down that route, I think it's normal to look at those types of people and aspire to be those people.
Yeah.
But not obsess over becoming those people.
Yeah.
So it's about learning from them. So like, Peter McKinnon or Casey, and learning things and traits from them. I learned a lot from Casey, and I learned a lot from Peter McKinnon, and I learned a lot from Sawyer Hartman. And those 3 guys kind of molded me into what I am now. Not like literally, but like being able to watch their content and then trying to understand how they did that.
Yeah.
Making it happen, and then putting my own little spin on it.
I guess it's the same for drawing, Pricey. You look at 3 different artists, and you might like something from one, another from another, and then bring all those together and make something of your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. But like with my sort of job, it's more of like someone comes in with 3 different things, and then I have to like put my own spin on something to give them what they want out of me. So I don't know. It's quite similar. Yeah.
Do you find that hard sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that must be quite hard.
To be honest, I'm so far out of tattooing now that I can't remember. It feels like ages.
Should we do a mock tattoo consultation right now?
Well, I did one with Georgia the other day because she's got because we needed to we want to cover while I'm off work, I'm gonna cover up like a tattoo, and it took me days just to weeks just to take a photograph of her arm and then draw a design to go over the top of it. I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
I guess it's harder when it's something you care about as well, because you don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly. I get that.
Well, every tattoo is the same, really. You do give, you should give a fucking.
Well, you obviously do give a fuck, but there's a different element of giving a fuck when it's somebody you care about.
That changes when you get to I don't know, about a year in, you realize that those tattoos are boomerangs and they keep coming back. So you're always going to want them to be really, really good, regardless.
Are you calling me a boomerang?
You are a boomerang.
Fat boomerang.
Big old boomerang. No, you just
boomerang.
You're haunted by terrible stuff that you've done. Not terrible stuff, but stuff you could have improved on, and you never want to get to a point. I want to see like something I've done 5 years ago still be as good. You know, and like I'm probably getting to that point now where I'm seeing stuff and I'm just like, oh, that looks really good actually, considering it's been out in the sun or considering it's been like, I don't know,
straight in the sea after you've tattooed them.
Yeah, mistreated. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
If it's in, it's in.
Yeah.
We didn't. I want to show you that photo.
Cool beans. Show away.
But I need to send it to my phone. Send it to my laptop from
you
my
can
phone.
send it. You can send it to me if you want, and I can just pop it up on screen.
I'll just send it to you. It's only the one I sent you last night because
yeah, that's fine.
The capture thing that I use takes up the entire dongle, so I can't fit another fucking USB in it.
So anybody listen to this, I will put this up on our YouTube channel when the video goes up. When the episode goes live. So let me just do this. Share screen, basic screen, boom. Where is it? There.
Go on the other one. Yeah, that one.
So, like, you laugh at this. And obviously we can both see why, because of it's in its infancy in editing. Like you've got a load of...
It's been worse. It's been a lot worse.
Yeah. I've seen worse too, but the thing that I'm laughing at is the fact that essentially the rock is putting shadow on the sky, which for me is...
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what was going through your head here, but...
I exported that, and I thought it was... That was 2015.
Right, okay. So you're 5 years on now. Like...
I just sent you another one.
Have you got... so that's that's before and after, yeah?
Yeah.
So is that the raw file or is that edited?
That's slightly edited.
Okay.
To show people, like, you know, what it should have looked like.
Yeah. Yeah. Mad,
when you look
after again?
That's after.
I find it
sorry,
funny.
that's after. Samuel, David, Penelope.
Bassett. Yeah, that's it.
What's the
Bassett,
P?
Penelope. Photography.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I'm so glad they didn't publish that anyway.
until now, when I put it on mine.
Until now.
Yeah.
But no, it was super nice going back through old photos last night.
Yeah.
And there's from New Zealand and all of those places, I kept like literally nothing. Yeah. I didn't have a great time in New Zealand. But everything in Australia, I pretty much kept. So like last night I was going through 7,000 like photos.
Wow. No wonder you had to buy a new Mac for your storage.
It's all right. It's all on hard drives. I have 4 hard drives now.
Fucking hell.
I've got one specifically for these videos called 365, which is for the whole year.
Yeah. That's cool. So what about, like, you know, obviously you're editing all this. What do you listen to music? Do you get a chance to listen to music? I've never really spoken to you about music before.
I do. I love music. Like, it's whenever I put music on, I realize how much I miss music.
Yeah.
Because when I'm editing, I can't have, I don't know, something else playing because I need to be able to listen to what I'm editing to.
Yeah.
Because it normally has a background music. So it's like you'd have the background music and then you'd have me talking and then you'd also have like some other music playing in the background.
Cutting to the beat and stuff. And
yeah. So
yeah.
I find that I never actually get time to listen to music because I finish editing and then I go to bed.
Yeah. So if you were to listen to music, what would you listen to? Right now,
anything.
Go to your Spotify, what's your recommended? Or Apple iTunes, whatever you fucking...
Get on Spotify. Tell us.
I don't think it's a good...
Mine's terrible lately.
I've been trying to decipher what Dylan told us the other day. Mock the Pope? Mock the Hope? What? I don't... Who?
Mock the Pope. That sounds like someone.
No.
Just send him a message.
Oh, Mock the Hoople. That was what it was. It was a 70s band he was on about. Yeah.
The last song that I played on YouTube was Linkin Park in the end.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, so it depends really. I like Bring Me the Horizon. I like...
Old or new stuff?
Both. The new stuff depending on
Interesting.
the mood. The old stuff, if if I'm in a mood. I like Tiesto. I like drum and bass. I like chill step. I like chill hop. I literally will listen to anything.
Yeah.
Well, apart from like pop music, but otherwise.
Yeah, me and Pricey are the same. We stay clear of pop music.
I mean,
I don't know. I think I'm right with pop music now.
To answer your question, there's a playlist on Spotify called Chill Step.
Yeah.
And it's that I listen to that whenever I'm flying. That's my flying music.
Okay.
And I listen I will. It doesn't matter how long the flight is. I will just listen to that on repeat. And I don't know what it is. It just sends me to sleep.
So we've got a public playlist. Pricey, please don't abuse this. But we've got a public playlist in work called Old Eltons Studio Bangers.
I've listened to it.
You have, yeah? So it's open to anybody. And if you want to put a banger in there that you absolutely love, we'll have it on our loop in the studio. Pricey, I can see your face. Please don't put any shit on there.
I'm so going to find the worst song I can find.
I'm not on spot.
I'm just going to fill it with Zebrahead.
I don't mind Zebrahead. I supported them once.
Yeah. Zebrahead's good.
Yeah.
I'm not on Spotify.
Oh, thank God for that.
I'm on Apple Music, but I can go on to Georgia's Spotify and then
deface it that way.
Yeah. Now you've said it. No, you've said not to put anything rubbish on there. I'll be putting something really good on there.
Okay. Oh no! Please don't do that. Oh no. Oh, fucking hell.
Because it's been such a long time that I've actually been in the music industry, if you want to call it. When I was growing up, I used to listen to music all the time.
Yeah.
And now I find that I don't as much. I just put a random playlist on Spotify, and then I'll just let that play.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I don't know who it is.
I think that's the thing with Spotify, though. There's so many radio stations or things out there that they can recommend you. You're forever finding new bands. Which can sometimes be detrimental to your music taste because you're trying to listen to so much. Like Killswitch Engage released a new fucking EP the other day. Listen to that today. It's absolutely drilling. And then it also recommended me like Mumford & Sons' new live album. I was like, Jesus Christ, stick to one genre.
That's two sides of Jack right there.
I don't even listen to Mumford & Sons. That's the worst thing about it. Like, I don't mind them. I won't not listen to them, but yeah, it was nuts. I guess what we were talking about in the break that we've just had is, do you feel overwhelmed with pressure being put on you to upload stuff, or do you still feel like you really want to do it? And obviously the community you were talking about, give them content to watch.
I enjoy putting out content every day. One, because I know people are going to enjoy watching it.
Creating content
I don't feel pressured to do it because it's content that I want to make. There's no pressure to be able to put it out because they're waiting. There's a want from my side. I put a pressure on myself in a way to create because, like I said to you before, like I want to make a video every day. So there's that pressure on myself that's acceptable. Yeah. Like I'm not doing it because in an unhealthy way. It's if I'm lying down for too long, I'm like, right, come on, get the fuck on with it. You need to make a video.
Yeah.
Not in a I don't mean it as like a depressing negative way. I find that invigorating. I find that fun for me. Like if I'm sat down,
gonna do it.
Like if I'm sat here too long, I get down and I'm like, you know what you have to do. Just pick up your camera. And the second I pick up my camera, then that's fine. I'm in the flow. It's gone. Yeah. So I don't feel pressure from them to put up content. If I don't put content up right now, and I just stopped for the next 2-3 days, it's going to hurt me because one, I'm not doing what I want to do, and two, it's going to, my views are going to diminish because I'm not doing what I said I'd do.
Yeah.
So it's a plus for me, if that makes sense.
Like in the last, what do we know? How many videos have you done in the last 4 months? 132
today.
So in the last 132 videos that you've put up, are there any days where you've broke, where you've had a really shit day and just got a bit too, it's just got a bit too much for you?
Obviously there has been, but that was over the last 132 days. There's been a few times where I found it super stressful, and it was before the quarantine. So it was when I was doing 12, 14-hour days in a vegan restaurant. So before quarantine, I was working in a vegan restaurant. I was supposed to only do 25 hours a week, but I was doing like 60, 70 because we were short-staffed. So I was doing that, and I was also putting out content every day. So I was recording me going to work, I was recording me at home, and you know, when you get home at 11 o'clock at night, and you're like, okay, fucking hell, like I have to edit for tomorrow. I have to put this content out, and then you're going to bed at 3, and then you're back in work at 10, and then you're like, it was hard. It was very hard.
Yeah. But I guess it's good for people to hear this. Like, if anybody in your community that you've created now listen to this podcast and they hear that, you know, you have struggled, then to let them know that it is okay to have bad days, because
100%, because like over those 132 days I had, let's say 20% were hard days, maybe more, because I don't know, every day was hard because it's difficult when you're doing a full-time job and you're putting out full-time content. It's a lot of work, and it requires a lot of concentration. And when you've been serving, you know, snobby people all day, and you get home and you just want to relax, but you can't, because you also have this want to put out this content for other people to inspire those people. But at the same time, like I was trying to inspire myself. So like over those, before quarantine, I was pushing myself to inspire myself as well as other people. And it's much more than that. Like I've been doing it since my first upload was in 2017. Well, actually my first ever upload was in 2016 on a different channel. But my first upload on this one was in beginning of 2017. And I found it super difficult because I had the same mindset as I have now. I had then, but I didn't have the same capabilities, and I didn't have the same support network.
I guess, your mindset hasn't changed. You just have a better platform to put you up onto now.
Yeah, like I already...
camera, you've got a bit of a community, people watching,
exactly,
engaging.
Yeah. It's like, if you look at it as customers, for example, as your business, if you had no customers coming in, you wouldn't be making the same amount of gear, would you? You wouldn't be making the same amount of t-shirts. Yeah. You'd be putting less effort in because the demand isn't there. Now the demand is there, you want to give that effort, you want to turn up, you know, every day you want to turn up and give your best, because that's what I want people to see. And I think that's a side of social media that is not always truthful, because people see like the best of the best. Yeah. And that's why in my videos, like I leave a lot of the shit in. Like I leave a lot of, when I make mistakes, I leave it in, because I want people to realize like this did not take one take. I've taken this, like I do in some of my videos, I do like juggling at the beginning. Yeah. And it's like a little segment of me fucking up basically, because I want people to understand it's not first time, go, bam, let's go, done. It takes time. Yeah. Everything takes time. And when people get that mindset, they're like, okay, well, I don't have a day to put out this video. I don't have an hour to put out this video. Take my time. I have a week, I have a month. And that can go for anything. You can take as long as you want to get to where you want to be. Like I've given myself, 2 years ago, I gave myself until I was 35 to get to where I want to be. And when I get to 35, if I've got there or not, it doesn't change anything. It's a milestone I've set myself because I want to have an end point. If I just started this and then I was like, okay, I don't have an end point, it's like I can just take a back seat. Whereas I've given myself that goal line
to work towards.
When I get to 35, I'm in my head, I'm visualizing what I want at that age, what I want to be doing. So I have that every day I'm thinking about that, where I want to be, which involves Australia, which
Yeah.
obviously I'm sure you're aware of.
How old are you now,
And
though, Sam?
20, that's a good question, 26. I look
9
9
14,
years.
but I'm 26.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because like, if it's 35, I've only got another 2 years to get to where you're at, which is worrying.
You'll be fine. But the thing is, where you're at right now, business-wise, is where thousands of people would love to be at. And it's the same for Jack. It's the same for me. And when you're in that, when you're there, when you're being that person, you don't appreciate all of the hard work it's taken, because every day you're in that grind. So you don't really understand how long it's taken to get to where you are.
Yeah.
Only people that are close to you can really see, like mom, dad, brothers, sister, whatever. They can see how far you've come. Like you can see how far I've come in the last year and a half. But to me, I'm doing the same thing. So it doesn't feel like that. So like I'm at 6,003 subscribers, and I've grown 5,000. Well, no, sorry, I've nearly grown 6,000 now in the last month and a half.
In the last week, you've grown 1,500 though, because I remember you hitting 5K, and I've been checking it. I've been checking it quite a lot just to see what the snowball effect is, just to see what your what your subscription rate is like, and it's going up. It's starting to accumulate into.
Yeah, so because what happens is when you have that one video that does well, a lot of people, what happens is they don't put out another one. So then you have all of these people that really enjoyed your content, they loved what you did, but then they're sitting around for a week or 2 weeks, and then they're like, well, okay, what's Hayden doing? What's North Borders doing? Okay, well, they're putting out content now, so I'll just watch them. So then you slip through the net, and then you upload something, and you're like, well, okay, I'll watch it. And then nothing happens again for another 5 days. So then they're completely not invested, which is what my idea was back in January. Like if I put in, and I said to you, the more I put in and the more buttons I push, the more I'm going to get back.
Yeah.
And I think it works for everything. I think that's the only way to do it, is if you do enough. Like I sent out, I don't know, I sent out about 1,000 emails and 4 of them came back. But if I had sent 200, maybe none of them would come back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like people think that you just get all of these jobs you get. And I think that's one of the reasons people like North Borders, because I don't know if you saw that video, but he went out that day and he spent all day asking different barbershops, different car places to hire him. And they all were like, no. People don't see that hard grind side of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that more YouTubers, I feel, should show. Because if you look at Peter McKinnon on the face of it, all he's done is sit in front of a camera, done a bit of cool B-roll, and now he's got 4 million subscribers. But it's not. He's worked his fucking ass off. He's got kids. He's got a family. It's not easy. Like I'm sure he's had really hard days.
What would your
go on, Prezi?
What would your like ideal number of like subscribers be then, Sam?
0. Because I don't want to put that in my head that I need to have a certain amount of numbers of subscribers to be able to succeed, because it's not about how many people have subscribed to me. Like I appreciate every single person that subscribed to me. I don't see the subscribers as a tangible thing. So like they're people that I appreciate following me, and I want these people to see my content, but I don't want people to get fixated on numbers, because there's so many people that are obsessed with numbers these days, especially on Instagram and social media in general. They want the followers, they want this. And I don't want to allow that thought into my head to be, okay, well, I want 1 million, because then if I don't get there, I'm going to be like forever disappointed in myself because I didn't get there.
Yeah.
So
you don't have control over that either, do you?
No. So what I want to get to is I want to get to a point, to answer your question, I want to get to a point where I have a collective of people that are supporting each other, and I'm being able to support them as well as that like host that's running the collective in a way. And I don't know, in my head, I have this idea of how I want it to go, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to work that in the future, but that's going to be when I pass on. I'm going to be stuck with all of this work. But I'm going to have to reach out and ask people to help me, and they're going to know better. Already, I don't know if you guys know what Discord is. Do you know what Discord is, Jack?
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of subscribers set a Discord up for me. Because I didn't have any idea what it is, and they were like, "We've set it up all for you, so we're going to set up the community for you." And they're setting up that community for me, and for me, that it's really special because these people have taken their time completely free to do that for me, and I think that's really it's nice for me to see that other people are trying to help creatives grow.
Is that something Is that something we can leave in the description, the Discord link, or is that for Patreon subscribers only, or is it?
No, I don't want to have any subscription on any of my services ever.
Okay.
Because I don't want to. I'll have ads on, so I'll have my channel monetized either through Amazon links or through ads through Google. But I won't ever ask for people to subscribe and pay to have me on their screen. Like, we all have a phone, we all have YouTube, it's free. I don't want people to pay for that because the information I want to share, I've obtained for free. So I don't want to give that away for money, if that makes sense. I know there's plenty of people that do that. And I even have a preset pack right now that is free because I want people to have a pack that they can start learning from.
Do you have a number of how many people have downloaded that yet?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's over 200.
So, with everything going on and doing a video a day, what do you do to wind down?
So there's YouTube.
Do you ever wind down?
No, not really. I wake up and I'm like, yes, let's go. Hang on, I'll tell you how many. 238
Good.
People have downloaded those free ones.
Amazing.
It is. It's pretty cool. What I do to wind down.
Imagine all of those people in a queue waiting for you. That's what you got to work out as. Because for me, when you think about the internet, you got thousands and thousands of followers. You got people 200 odd people downloading one of your files. For me, if I put a picture up and 18,000 people walked through Narberth and looked at it, I would be stoked.
I know it's weird, isn't it? When you actually start thinking about it. I went to Tasker Millwood School, and when I was there was 2,000, I think, kids. And when you take that into consideration, out of my Instagram followers, that still leaves another 8,000. Yeah, it's just it's a mad thing to think about, especially when you look at bigger YouTubers as well. Yeah. I think PewDiePie has 120 million. That's double the size of the UK.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird process. Imagine trying to cram all of these people in here. Hey guys, come over for a cup of tea.
Yeah. Wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't.
So you watch.
I bet you could fit them in a mini.
So yeah, you watch YouTube to wind down then.
Yeah, so there's I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but it's called Good Mythical Morning.
Second time that's been on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Rhett and Link, man, and I think the reason I like it is they've hit the nail on the head. It's just mundane shit that you can watch, and it's funny, and I think that's why I like it, because it's so easy to switch off to. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to do anything, and that's why I enjoyed listening to you guys the other day, because I could just listen to your conversation, and listen and learn as well from the people you were talking to, and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. What have you taken from listening to our stuff then? What have you taken business wise from what you've listened to? If you've listened to all of them, who's been the most inspiring person you've listened to on our podcast so far?
So I said to Jack earlier, I really liked the one with the boombox guy. I can't remember his name. The boombox guy.
Johnny.
Yeah, because I felt like mentally, in a way, the way he spoke and the way he talked about his business, and I felt like out of everyone that you spoke to, that's the person I could like resonate with
Yeah.
in a way that, you know, I kind of understood some of the things he was saying, and I was like, yeah, clients could, like when he was talking about Jay-Z, was it him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And the fact that it doesn't matter whether they're rich or poor or whatever, all clients are like that. You know, I worked with a lady, you are more than welcome to keep this in. She's a BAFTA nominated, BAFTA winning photographer. Or what, I can't remember what title she has, but essentially she takes photos of lookalikes. I did a lot of work with her doing behind the scenes stuff. She takes pictures of lookalikes in provocative ways and sells it to the press and sells it as like photos and images, and it's good. It's funny work. I can't talk about the shoot that I did with her, but it was funny. However, she's a piece of work, to be honest with you.
So I'm just on her website now. Who?
Yeah.
Donald Trump. Is that him?
No. So I was on that shoot. The whole process of getting these images, like, it's hard work, but it's amazing because it brings out like how fucked the media is, because the media use these photos. They've used these photos, and it shows you. Yeah, it shows you how fake it was.
Amazing.
Because she is an amazing artist, but she's horrible to work for.
Who's the Trump lookalike?
So he's a guy called Dennis from America, and he loves it, man.
No way they lookalikes.
Yeah, so she is part of a very wealthy part of Chelsea. However, working with her was probably like the most stressful person I've ever worked with, just because of the way that she runs sets and the way that she runs herself, really. It was pretty difficult. So, I mean, you don't really see that side of it like on social media. So you see like the fun part of it and you see the outcome, but you don't see the work that creatives actually do with some clients that aren't exactly like the best.
Yeah. But she gets the results of what she wants, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's pretty insane. So I've just even like checked out some of her photos online, and they're very controversial. But yeah, like how do you go about to get something like that?
So she's an, I will never take it, like her work is amazing. She's an amazing, hardworking person.
You can see she has a specific craft and a specific skill set.
Yeah, and she's very hardworking. She's extremely hardworking, and what I feel is because she's that hardworking, she expects absolutely nothing else from other people.
Yeah.
You know, and I found myself actually, I excelled in that environment because I don't do anything half-assed. I never do anything half-assed. So she loved me. I got everything done whenever she wanted me, you know, to get it done. But it wasn't for me, you know.
How did you even come into that ilk of work?
It's a bit weird actually. It was an Indeed. It was
way.
It was an Indeed job. So I was on Indeed looking for photography jobs. I applied for it, and she'd hired in 10 people to come in, and we were all doing the same thing. And then throughout the day, she whittled us down. She was like, "Okay, thank you. I don't need you anymore. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't need you anymore." Well, at the end of the day, it was just me. And she was like, "You can come back tomorrow."
Sick.
So it was good, man. And it was good pay. I enjoyed the work. It was just very stressful. But it was a good learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Very. And, you know, I don't have anything personally against her. She's just not the best person to work for.
I wonder if people say that about me.
Well, I bet you learned a lot from that, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I learned a lot of positives and I learned a lot of negatives.
Mainly how to treat people.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
And it was eye opening, and I don't want to like badmouth people because it's, you know, but it was eye opening for sure. Listening to, you know, how you see these stereotypical Hollywood directors, and they're like, "Oi, you here now? Give me this now.
Yeah.
Hey, hurry up! No, not then. Now, give it to me now."
Yeah.
It was that, but like on steroids. So it was like
So you were spoken to like that?
she never spoke to me like that because I spoke back like that. If she said something in an affirmative way to me like that, I spoke back in the same manner, and she respected that because that's me. I don't take any shit from people.
I was gonna say, see if
if
that was
people
me, I'd be like, yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir. I'm such a pushover.
You want 4 coffees? Okay. But
Yeah, I'll give you 5.
I'd have thrown a camera at her.
she's had plenty of cameras thrown at her.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Okay, so essentially, she had a suitcase full of all of her hard drives. Okay, all of them, every single hard drive, all the backups in the same place as the main hard drives.
Well, why would you do that in the first place?
Exactly. So, and this had all of it, everything you just looked at. It had all of that on it, all of the footage. It had basically over £1 million worth of work on it. And she had it in a shitty little suitcase. So it was me. I'd been doing editing with all the other guys all day. We were doing behind the scenes for a Sky documentary. And we had to get in a taxi to go back to his studio. So I was basically her assistant, but I wasn't her assistant at this point. And I got into the cab and someone else had picked up the suitcase to bring with them. So they left it in the taxi when we all got out, right? So I got to the door of the studio and one of the other girls said to me, "Have you got the suitcase?" And I was like, "What suitcase?" She was like, "Alison's suitcase, you had it." I was like, "No, I did not." "Yeah, it was in the taxi." I was like, "Fuck. Do you know how hard it is to find a fucking black cab in London?" The same fucking black. So there's this black cab that's now gone down the road and fucked off with over £1 million worth of footage on it, highly sensitive footage. And essentially I'm being looked at as the person that's lost it. So she's carrying on as normal because we haven't told her yet what's happened because I'm trying to rectify the situation. So I've spoken to TfL, which is Transport for London. I've spoken to cabbies. I've spoken to everyone. I've rung fucking as many people as possible. I tell her, and she's obviously livid. She's like, "Don't fucking talk to me. Get the fuck out of my face. Go and find it, and you come back here with my hard drives." And I'm like, "But I didn't fucking lose it." "Well, who the fuck lost it?" So I had to go back to the hotel where we had come from. I had to go through all the I had to blackmail them to give me all the CCTV, saying "Look, if you don't help us, then we're going to sue you because you haven't helped us." Blah blah blah. So I blackmailed the hotel to give us CCTV footage to find out who put the fucking bag into there. I found out who put the bag in. I rung them and I was like, "Look, why did you not take the bag out?" "Oh, I forgot." I was like, "Okay, can you please, say it was you because I'm getting the shit for it." "What are you on about?" And they just fucking denied it. So then I had the blame that I'd lost her over £1 million worth of footage. And she's like, "You're going to have to pay me back." And I'm like, "Right, firstly, stop stressing. We're going to find it." She's like, "You're going to find a black cab in London." I was like, "I know social media. Please leave it to me, okay? I'll find it." It took me 5 hours of me running around London, stressing out of my fucking head. I went to different cabs. I was like, "How can I get hold of other cabbies?" I rang every single cab branch in London asking, "Can you put out a radio message?" In the end, I found a guy that had a WhatsApp group. I said, "Can you put it on yours?" And a guy came back and said, "I have it." I was like, "Can you come and deliver it to me, please? ASAP, I'll give you some money." So I gave him my day rate, which was £300 for returning it. So it cost me £300 out of my own fucking money. Took it back. I gave it to her and she was like, "Okay, I need to calm down. I'll speak to you in a minute. Go and sit over there." I was like, "No, fuck it." Bear in mind, I'd been in work since 6 and it was 1 in the morning now. So I was fucking tired. She's like, "I'll come and talk to you in a minute." I'm like, "Okay, but I'm going by the way, just so you know, this is another day rate, by the way. If I'm staying, it's another day rate." "Yeah, I'll talk to you in a minute." So she left me for another hour. Then she came and spoke to me and she was like, "So I've spoke to my assistant," because her actual assistant was there now. Sorry, it's long-winded, I did say. her assistant then comes to speak to me and says, "Okay, we've agreed that you're going to get a fine from us for losing it, and we're going to fine you £1,200." And I said, "Okay, that's fine, fair enough." And I said, "Can I just ask you a quick question? Am I hired under you as a company? Am I part of your company, or am I a freelancer?" She said, "You're a freelancer." And I was like, "That's great. Just to let you know, I'm informing you
I quit.
that my day rate, my day rate has gone up to £2,000, and you now owe me." And I'd already written up the invoice. I said, "You now owe me this
800 quid.
that I've incurred over the last 2 hours, which covers the cost of that." She's like, "You can't do that." I was like, "Well, you can't charge me for something that's not my fault, the same way I can't charge you like that, but I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to. That's your invoice. If you don't pay it, then I'm going to press that you have to pay it, because I have proof from the hotel. I have proof from your employees that I've been here all day. That's my day rate.
Yeah.
So either you pay my day rate or you write off this debt that you have with me." So then she went back and spoke to Alison, and Alison came in and she was like, "I'm sure we can work something out. We'll be fine. We'll work it out. Okay, you go home, have a sleep, and I'll call you tomorrow."
Were you like shitting yourself though, Emma?
No. The thought I had was, she has more money than me, and the only way I can do it is if I'm a dick back. And if she's going to find me, then she's going to find me. So I might as well give it a go. And I found the issue that I had was with the assistant. It was the assistant that was causing the issue. And when I spoke to them the next day directly, and I was like, "Look, that was fucking out of order, and I don't want to fucking work with you anymore because I'm not being blamed for shit I didn't do. Your assistant, who is in charge of all your hard drives, it's her issue, not mine."
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't get paid for fucking 2 months. And I said, "Look, I haven't been paid for any of the work I did for you." She was like, "What? Send your invoices over." I said, "I have. I've given them to your assistant." Okay, so she called her assistant, and the assistant was like, "Oh, no, I never got them." And I was like, "Yeah, you did. I have proof that you have them because you've messaged me saying you've received them and there's an issue with the accountant." So the assistant got fired, and I left.
See, people need to hear this shit because it's not all fucking roses.
No, I know it's not, but like I like telling that story, but I don't want to have repercussions.
All right, cool. So we got 2 questions left. And question number 9 is, where do you see the future of Optical Wonder or Samuel Bassett himself?
I see Optical Wonder becoming like a collective of other creatives around the world, encouraging smaller creatives to understand that it's not as sugar-coated as it seems, and it's hard work, but it's about supporting smaller creatives to be able to have that understanding and to be able to attack it in the right mind frame instead of going into it, getting disappointed and stopping. Because there's so many people that go into it, they pick up their camera, they take 200, 300 photos, and they put them on social media, and it doesn't work out, and then they're like, "Fuck it, it hasn't been for me." But that's not the point of it. The point of it is you're creating, and that's what I tried to get across on the channel. Like, it's not about how good it is. It's okay to suck. It's okay to fucking fail. It's about you having your time to do what you love. And I think that's like the most important thing.
Yeah.
Where do I see myself in, I don't know, 10 years? I want to, in the future, I want to be living in Australia, because I spent 2 years there, and it was kind of what allowed me to become who I am creatively. When I was in Pembrokeshire, which is in Wales, before I left, I was really stuck, like mentally. Like, I was probably at the lowest point I'd ever been. Like, now I'm fine, but like back then I found literally like just getting up really difficult. I found it really difficult to go out. I would socialize and I would like be around people and I'd be happy, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't myself. I was too busy like trying to escape
somewhere else.
So I did an activity instructing season. I went and did activity instructing for 6 months when I was 18. That's where I broke my back. That's another story. And I came back to Pembrokeshire, and that's when I was like, I need to leave, because I don't know what it is. For me personally, I don't know what it is about Pembrokeshire. It's not Pembrokeshire itself, and it's not the people there. I used to say it was all the people, it's the people's fault, it's fucking shit. It's not. The people are amazing. And the issue was I just didn't, it wasn't my connection. It wasn't where I was supposed to be. And when I went to Australia, and I don't know whether it was because I was free. I don't know whether it was because I was doing my own thing. I don't know whether it was because I was enlightened because I grew up, but it allowed me to really understand what I wanted from my life. And I don't know whether it's because I'm destined to be in Australia or because it represented freedom. Like when I went there, I was so, I don't know how to describe it, but I was so fucked, in my head mentally. I used to say all the time, I was like, I used to say I wish I was dead. I wish I was going to die. I wanted to die when I was in Pembrokeshire. And I'm not afraid to say that. I don't mind speaking about it because I was in a place where I didn't really connect with anyone. Now I've gone back as an adult, I can connect. I've connected with you, and there's people I understand and get on with.
Yeah, I remember you were in a really negative mindset when I was just starting out, and you came into the unit to visit me, and you just didn't want to be there, man. I could see it in your bones. You just did not want to be in Pembrokeshire at all.
No, and I think it's not, and people need to understand that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you just don't click with a place. And I found that from my whole childhood, throughout my teenage years, I was trying to be these different things. I hung out with the townie crew. I hung out with the chavs. I hung out with the emos. I hung out with the skaters. I hung out with everyone. I was in all of these different crowds. I knew everyone in Pembrokeshire. Yeah. And I still didn't feel happy. So to me, the only thing left in my head, I was like, it's either I go and travel and leave, or I don't. if you get what I mean. And
I get what you mean.
It was like that ultimatum in my head, I either fucking go and do this or I give up. So it was let's just go for it. And I just got my compensation. I just got my compensation for breaking my back. I had saved up a bunch of money, and I was like, you know what? There's literally nothing stopping me. So I just went. And I think because I've made that decision of going down the right path, I could have gone a different way, but I don't know. I think it was because it was that starting point. Australia, it allowed me to then grow into who I am now. I'm mentally sound, if that makes sense. I'm okay with who I am. I don't mind pissing about in front. If you gave me this camera fucking 4 years ago and said, Sam, talk to it, I would honestly be sweating from head to toe.
Yeah.
And when I started, it was the same. And it's hard because it's a weird thing. Everyone has these own insecurities about themselves, and everyone's so scared about putting themselves out there. But when I realized in Australia is it's me, and there isn't going to be another me. So like me or don't. And that's literally how I still live.
Yeah.
And I think where I want Optical Wonder, and to go back to the question, where I want Optical Wonder and my message to go is I want people to take that. I want people to hear that message and just live their life in a way that they enjoy it. And it's not for other people. You're just doing your thing, obviously within reason,
Yeah.
And I think more people need to just do it. If you're scared, it's a good thing. If you're scared of doing something, then just do it.
Yeah. So are there any personal life-changing moments that you've really defined you?
There's one actually I really want to talk about actually. They're in Australia, and as a whole, Australia was amazing. I had a fucking amazing time. I've seen things that just over my mind.
I remember you showing me your map of where you'd been in Australia.
I went everywhere. And I know people are like, oh yeah, I've been to Australia. No, I've seen the whole entire country. I've been to every city. I've traveled it in a kind of
car. I could not believe what you'd been to see in Australia. It was incredible.
And last night, looking back through the photos, it made me realize there's not many people that have done that, and it made me really happy to know that. And I'm going to do it again. I said that in the video that's going up tomorrow. I'm going to go and do it again. But with better equipment and not with like the mindset of let's shoot at 25th of a second. Don't. I looked at my metadata and I was like, what? Anyway, there was a moment in Australia that really brought me to the adult world. I'd had an argument with my ex-girlfriend, Flora. It was all about parking the van that we were living in a certain place. She decided she wanted to move the van. We had an argument about it. She drove the van across this sand pit, which was fine, but it was like more loose than normal. We got stuck. Fine. Don't worry, I'll dig us out in the morning. 10 minutes later, an drunk Australian guy turns up. Right, I'm outside trying to dig myself out, and he's just there laughing at me. Right, and I'm like, yeah, I know it's funny. He was like, no, it's just you're so helpless. And I'm going to cut this story short because it's very long. I think I've told you this, Jack. I'm not sure if I did. And basically, this guy was a drunk. He was living in his van just down the road, well, 4x4, and he had a screwdriver in his pocket. Okay, and he saw an opportunity to take everything that I had because I was stuck, couldn't do anything. I'm quite skinny, so he was like, he tried his luck. So he was like, what's in your van? And obviously Flora, my ex, was in the van, so I was like, fuck. So I had to stop and get in the van. He was like, why, what you got? You're going to pay me. And it went down this horrible route that I just didn't know how I was going to get out of. And he then pulled this screwdriver on me and he's like, give me all of your stuff. And I'm like, bro, I don't have anything for a start. I don't have any cash. I'm a fucking backpacker. I don't have money. I live in my van like you live in yours. Like, I don't have anything. He's like, do you have any cigarettes? And I was like, I don't smoke. He's like, do you have any weed? And I was like, well, I do, yeah, but not a lot. And we had this little baggie in the front, fucking nothing, just like literally like this much. And he was like, I'll take that. I was like, okay, fine, you can have that. Like, I don't smoke anyway. Like, it was just left over. But I pulled that out, and underneath, I obviously left the other bag. And he saw the other bag, and he was like, I'll take that as well. And I was like, okay, fine, have that. So then he assumed I had money, and I was lying because I had that bag. And I was like, I don't have any money. So I had to give him my wallet, which had nothing in. And he was like, well, I'll drive you to a cash point. You can take all your money out. And I was like, look, I'll show you my phone. So I had to show him my phone. I had no fucking money. I had like $100. He's like, I'll take that. And I was like, there's no cash point here. I'm not getting in your car. You're drunk. I don't know what you want from me. And he was like, okay, look, all right, fine. And he walked off. And I was like, what the fuck? That was so weird. 10 minutes later, he comes back, but in his 4x4. And I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. So I see the situation. And I'm like, I need help now. I can't do this on my own. So I asked Flora to call the police. So in a French accent, she's trying to call the police and fucking trying to tell them what the fuck's going on. There's a family in the distance. So I shout them. They came over. And he's like, look, I have my whole family with me. I can't get involved. I'll get the police here. So the other guy that came over tried to help him, but he couldn't because his family, he didn't want to upset his kids. Fine. This weird guy was just sat in his fucking 4x4 with a little bit of the window cracked, looking through it. And I like this. Like literally looking through at me through this tiny little slit. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And at this point, I've gone past being scared. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you so fucking weird? Yeah. Like, if you're going to do something, can you just fucking get on and do it? Because I don't know what the fuck you're doing. He was like, man, I'll help you. I'm going to fucking help you. So he gets out of his car, goes in the back, gets out this tow rope. I'm like, fucking hell, thank fuck he's going to give me a hand. So he throws the rope at me. He doesn't even like pat. He like throws this big fuck off like pulling rope at me. He's like fucking tied on there. And I'm like, all right. So I tied it off. And he jumps back in his car. I'm like, fucking hell, this is all I wanted. Like, thank you. Why is it such a fucking difficult thing? Starts driving. We get off the sand. And I'm like, okay, you can stop now. He's not stopping. So he continues driving. So I'm like, okay, like, this is weird now. Why are you not stopping? So I started braking, obviously, to try and tell him, like, that's fine. Continued. Like, he's in a big fuck off 4x4. I'm in this little tiny van. And he's like, he's nailing it. in this 4x4 now, and I'm like, fuck, call the police, and like I put the car now in park, and it's doing this. The fucking van is bouncing because I put it in park. It's like destroying the back axle of the fucking car. It's like, look this, I'm not joking. And he stops because obviously, like, he's basically bumping an automatic, like a people carrier.
Yeah.
Gets out and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm out of the sand, clearly. Stop your car. And he's like, well, no, you need to fucking pay me some money. I'm like, I don't have any money. He's like, yeah, you're going to fucking buy me some beers. And then the police turn up, arrest him, and he's known to the police because he's tried taking backpackers before. And I'm like, fuck. And this is all, no, I'm not shitting. This is all because my ex wanted to go for a piss.
So that was your life-changing moment.
That was my moment where I was like, the next time your missus wants to go for a piss, just drive her for a piss. That's the moral of the story.
Oh, bloody hell.
Don't say no. Say yes to everything.
Because your partner's always right.
Apparently.
Well, man, that is like, what are we, 11 o'clock now? 8:45. It's like, we're up to like 2.5 hours now of chatting.
Sorry.
So, no, I don't apologise. It's fine. Plenty of material from that. I guess that story was pretty fucking mental, if I'm honest with you. I would have probably shit myself a couple of times in that.
I'll be honest with you, there's another 4 of those from New Zealand, but yeah, we won't go into those.
Oh my God. Well, let's give us your socials. So anybody listening to this can
give
go
us
and
your
follow you.
socials. We can have a listen. We can have a watch. Everyone can have a watch.
So Instagram, Optical Wonder, and then YouTube is also Optical Wonder. And that's all I have at the moment. Discord, if anyone's interested. I believe the server is going to be under Discord. The guys are setting it up at the moment. But Jack, I might be able to pass that on to you.
Yeah, if you send me that link, I can put it, because this isn't going to be going out for another 3 weeks now, I think. So
yeah,
if you let me know,
I'll find it.
Soon we can put the Discord link in.
How did you want to? I want to give my audience something, as well as like I want to help you guys.
Yeah.
In a way, so I don't know how I can do that. Is there a way we could set up I don't know. Is there a way we could set up a discount code for your stuff?
Yeah.
But anyone that uses that discount code, we know it's come from me, so then maybe Pricey get a little share from that, because obviously he's still here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Pricey's about to release his website now as well, so.
Oh, okay.
If you just use optical, I don't mind 10%. Yeah, go optical 10 on my site.
Yeah.
Anybody listening, like, you can say this now if you want to use this as a segue for your socials. If you get optical 10, then they get 10% off the clothing, off my clothing. I don't know, Pricey, if you're happy to do anything like that. If anything, will have come your way.
Same thing. Optical 10.
Cool.
Do that. Yeah. Put the discount code in on my website, and then you get 10% off.
Okay. So if anyone wants to come and follow me or anything like that, then Instagram is Optical Wonder, YouTube is Optical Wonder, and then anyone that's listening that's part of my community or is on the hashtag or follows me, then you can use Optical 10 on either Old Elton's site or on Pricey's site, which should be linked. And you can also use that on my presets as well. So Optical 10, you get 10% off my presets.
Boom. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on. It's been a mad 2.5 hours of story time and sharing. Appreciate you coming on and understand how busy you are. And
yeah, man, it's been good. Been loads of fun.
To actually, like,
it's been good speaking to you as well. Yeah. And good meeting you too, Price.
Did it? Yeah. Digitally.
I will come down at some point.
No one would ever think they would meet me digitally.
Well, you've proven us all wrong.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Cheers, man. Yeah,
cheers,
thank
Sam.
you.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Sam.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Boom. Thank you very much. much. 10 episodes down, end of season 1. Thank you to everybody who's listened to the last 10 episodes. It's been so much fun, and I've loved every second of it. We're going to carry on doing these in chunks of 10, but carry on with the episode count as normal, because why not? It's our podcast at the end of the day. Also, with the top 10 beige snacks, we're going to have them on the website for you to look at and just have a general summary of the last 10 episodes. And whilst you're on the website, feel free to go and check out the show notes for this episode and the previous night. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a message on any of our socials. It's @progression-over-destination. Next week, we're kicking off season 2 with a bang, as we've got Gareth Owens of Get the Boys a Lift. This guy has helped me out massively over the last 2 years, business-wise and mentally. He's also become a very close friend of mine and Pricey's, so we'll see you then.